Hello, wellness warriors. I hope you are doing wonderful, or if not wonderful, at least okay. I know these are really hard times, and there's so much going on. Someone reached out the other day, and they asked me to talk about emotional eating during quarantine. And so I said, of course, definitely something that I think many of us can relate. And I've been giving sessions from home, and I've had a couple clients talk about how they find themselves comfort eating. I'm drinking some water because my mouth is super dry. So let's just start with, this is a topic that a lot of people can relate to. Not everybody, but a lot of people. A lot of people are emotional eaters, or they will find themselves right now emotionally eating, even though they've never been in that position before. A lot of people will say, I've never really engaged in emotional eating, but it's something that I'm currently doing right now. Other people who thought, I had this under control and I wasn't eating my emotions. I'm actually eating my emotions right now. Many of my clients have said that. They're like, I'm eating my emotions. Many of my friends have said that. Funny, because a lot of my therapist friends have said that. And I can definitely relate and say that I have had moments where I have also been eating my emotions. So I'm trying to be really aware of that. But definitely, that's definitely been a struggle. I know that the other day, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was the news. I was watching the news and I saw that a 6-week-old baby had died of COVID-19. And I remember I ate chocolate that day and I thought to myself, this is so comforting, because that's my comfort food, right? It's chocolate. And so it's good to know what is your comfort food. I think it's very important that you are aware of what is comfort food for you. A lot of people, comfort food is cereal. Others is carbs or sweets like cakes and cookies. I see a lot of you are baking constantly, and nothing wrong with that, but it's just that comfort, right? It's gonna bring me comfort to smell some pie or a cookie. Or so I know that chocolate is my comfort food, and I remember I had a bite of that chocolate and I ate the chocolate and I just kept thinking, how I just feel so comforted, and it just felt like comfort. And for me, I think for anybody with a heart, just hearing about the deaths and then hearing about a 6-week-old baby dying from COVID-19 and just being so postpartum as I am. I'm not even 3 months postpartum. I'll be 3 months tomorrow. Just that alone can really hit you. And so it really hit me. And I told my husband, and he said, yeah, I had already seen it. I just didn't want to tell you anything. And I said, I saw it, and I started just really sitting with my feelings. And of course that chocolate made life a little sweeter, and it comforted me, because it's devastating. Right now we're going through a collective devastation. Right now we are in this collective pain, and we're in it, and we're looking at everything that's happening. And I'm sure that many of us are wondering, are we going to come out of this? Are we going to be okay? And we're worried we're going to get it. We are super worried that our family members will get it. Many of us are worried about our parents. I'm worried about my parents. I am absolutely worried about my children. That is the one thing that I keep thinking about. My husband is a nurse. He's exposed. And even though we are staying home, he's still going out there and working. And even though we're taking all the measures we can, it's still very scary for me. And I think of my children, and I just, the fear takes over me. And so emotional eating is definitely something that many people are struggling with right now. And even though I'm not encouraging it, so let me make this clear. I'm not encouraging you to emotionally eat or to overeat or to binge eat. But I will say this, please give yourself grace. Please give yourself grace. Don't judge yourself. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Don't worry about it. It's part of the process. Don't judge your weight. Don't comment on other people's weight either. I mean, right now it's just not okay to do that, period. But definitely right now in quarantine life, please don't do that to anybody. Everybody's struggling as it is. And many of us are going to struggle with the fact that maybe we cannot move right now as much as we want to, or as much as we were before. There's also, somebody said this the other day. They were like, it's not like I can buy what I usually eat because it's out in the stores. It's like, it's not there. And so we are coping as best as we can. We're doing the best we can. So please have mercy on yourself. Like, please give yourself grace. Don't do this to yourself. This is like the last thing you need. So if you engage in some emotional eating, just be mindful about it. Be aware. Don't judge yourself for doing it. It's something that a lot of people are going through right now. You're not alone. And some things that help me to stay away from it, because I'll have days where I'll emotionally eat and I just don't judge myself for it. And I tell myself tomorrow is going to be a better day and it's going to be okay. And I'm going to go for a walk and I'm going to drink water and I'm going to talk my feelings out. Because if I notice that if I try to avoid my feelings and numb them, then of course I'm going to find comfort in food. But if I'm being honest with my feelings and I talk about them and I talk about how scared I am, how uncomfortable I am, how I feel confused, how I just keep wondering what's going to happen, that I worry about my safety and the safety of others, when I'm more honest about my feelings and I allowed myself to sit with them, even though they're super uncomfortable sometimes, because negative feelings are not very comfortable to sit with, it's much better than numbing them. And so I do that. I get through it. I watch videos like Brene Brown that are very helpful. I will listen to some audiobooks. I will FaceTime some of my good friends. I play with my kids. I try to do other things that also bring me comfort and joy so that I don't find myself finding that comfort in food all the time, or just only in food. And for those of you who are alone, just try to have connection. Just, because sometimes when we're finding comfort in food, what it is just like an inside hug, right? That's what we want. We want an inside hug. And so we're looking for that comfort in food. So try to connect with people, try to FaceTime with them, just try to find that connection, so that your soul knows that you're not alone and that you can find that love and that peace in other ways. And you can also try to go for a walk, nature helps, or take a bath, watch something funny, because what you're trying to do is not just find connection, but also try to find some inner peace. You're trying to find some comfort. You're trying to find kind of that, like, it's going to be okay. And we're also in a moment of trauma. And so we don't know what to do. And so what we need is it's like, oh, okay, I'm looking to be comforted, right? I'm looking for something that's going to fill this emptiness that I'm feeling, because there's a lot of emptiness right now. And that applies for a lot of other things. A lot of people can be drinking more than they usually do, or just whatever it is that you're doing a little too much. So just be careful with that. Be mindful. Do it for your safety, and just so that you don't feel sick when we engage in something too much. And just try to understand that a lot of us are going through this. That is my son in the background. A lot of us are going through this, and a lot of us are just having so many emotions that we don't know what to do with them. And so that is why emotional eating can come into place, because we're trying to numb some of those feelings because it's just too much. So give yourself grace. Don't judge yourself. Know it's gonna happen, and just remind yourself that if when it does happen, that it's okay. That not because you're engaging in it right now means you have to engage in it all day long, or not because you engage in it today means that you have to engage in it tomorrow. And just take some deep breaths. Try to just have good rest. Take naps. I know a lot of people are like, just keep busy. You don't have to stay busy. How about you just stay calm? And how about you give yourself grace and you give yourself whatever you need so that your mental health is okay. And don't beat yourself up for emotionally eating. Like I said, a lot of people are really worried about that right now. Don't beat yourself up for that. Be kind to yourself and just know that that is something normal to struggle with right now, and it's okay. So okay guys, well thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I hope that you're staying safe, stay inside. It saves lives. Just take some deep breaths and find that connection with the people that you love, and remember to move if you can. That will also help your brain find some peace and stability, and have some comfort in the midst of all this. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye. Let me know if there's any topic you want me to address.